So I can recall a time in my childhood where looking at my own reflection in the mirror always triggered a sense of inquiry. It felt like the reflection I saw was not truly me, that I was something else, something that couldn't be reflected. And I just didn't identify with the image of me in the mirror. And I know what you might be thinking. Maybe I was off kilter or I fell off my rocker. And believe me, I thought the same thing. But still, this feeling persisted, this feeling that I was something else, something more, even expansive, something that my eyes simply couldn't see. So, on one mundane afternoon when I was 17, I decided to investigate this further. So I walk up to my bedroom mirror and I ask the question directly, who am I? And I pause. I was so earnest and just so eager and so open that suddenly the unimaginable happened. I started to feel myself expanding outwardly, going into an out-of-body experience. My sense of self filled my entire bedroom. I was astonished, completely awestruck by what was happening. My question was getting answered. However, after a few moments of this excitement, everything came crashing down as fear caught up to my mind, and everything stopped, leaving me so perplexed and even more confused. As you can imagine, identity is already pretty weird for any teenager, right? Like, let alone this cosmic one trying to make an intro into my life. So the timing felt less than ideal. However, I didn't realize then that that profound moment would later inspire me to start peeling away different layers of my attention and really deepening my state of awareness. I essentially started meditating without realizing I was meditating. And so at first, moments would kick into my awareness where I would be simply watching whatever was in front of me. And then I slowly started to realize that there's a distance between my mind, my body, and me, and that I am what is watching. I am what is being watched. I am the experience, the observer, the witness watching itself. I am literally everything. Therefore, we are everything. Fast forward to today. This practice is still on. And when I'm in this heightened experience, naturally the filmmaker in me kicks in. I'm reminded that my eyes are a camera. Everything I look at becomes a framed shot. Moments even start to arrive as beats, culminating into a scene. I mean, it's almost like I'm in a trance in a movie theater watching a film. And what I've realized is this: what if the seat of our experience has always been the filmmaker's chair, or more precisely, the director's chair? I mean, we're all actually living a story. We're all living out our personal films. That's our lives. Therefore, we are all directors. And maybe some of us are just bad at it, not because we don't have any imagination, but simply because we've forgotten that we're directing at all. But at any moment, we can choose differently. Instead of letting our minds drift to unconscious thoughts and patterns, instead of letting the camera drift, we can pause, we can cut, we can step back and widen the frame, we can linger. And when that happens, everything changes. This is consciousness, not some analysis, not some computation, or some algorithm being smart. Consciousness is being aware that you are aware. It's the capacity to step back and see, to observe and witness. So how does storytelling fit into this again? Well, remember, we are walking stories, and we're hardwired for stories to make sense of our lives. We turn to stories to share wisdom, to learn, to grow. And we also turn to stories because we crave meaning, and more fundamentally, because we have burning questions inside of us. Sometimes questions that we can't quite articulate. Contrast to that is artificial intelligence. Today, we know AI can tell you a story, can even write a screenplay. However, it does not feel it, it cannot dream it, it doesn't need it because it doesn't crave meaning in the same way that we do. also does not have the capacity to imagine a future that hasn't been written yet, because it is simply not alive, and it will never cross the threshold of consciousness. But what it can do is compel us to be better humans, and that means to ask deeper questions about our true nature. Because the future of storytelling is our human responsibility, and we are ever more essential. To live and to tell stories only lived experiences can generate. I see cinema not just as entertainment. I see it as a way of reclaiming our narrative and our experiential power, because the future of storytelling will never belong to machines. It's going to belong to those willing to stay awake. And this is when life becomes cinema and storytelling a practice of awakening. That is the power of who we are. And just like that, the director's seat once again reappears. Like a film, our thoughts, our sensations, our emotions arise and dissolve within a frame. Every shot becomes an active choice directing our attention. This is possible in all of us. Recognizing the director's chair we're already sitting in. That also means to protect ambiguity, silence, curiosity, wonder, awe. This is what leaves us open to what's actually already here. The seed of our experience is here in this very moment, and you are sitting in it. And the truth is that when you fully open yourself to this moment, you realize that the camera was always rolling, never stopping. This invitation to embrace life as cinema is not to escape reality, but it's to accept it and enter it more fully, to turn inwards without any inherited thoughts, patterns, without any belief systems, without any distractions at all, to look directly at what is unfolding and to open yourself to the question, who are you? It might blind you, but it can also liberate you. Thank you.